Coming up tonight at 6, Mississippi officially has a new state flag flying over the state capitol. We'll hear from Governor Reeves about this historic day. And we're telling you how to drive safe during deer season. The details and more ahead.
Well, wintry precipits moving on out. Next chance for rain moves in probably a little bit sooner than you'd hope. Details about that coming up in a couple minutes. News at 6 starts right now.
We're proud to always be on your side. Good evening, Pine Belt. This is WDAM 7 News at 6.
Good evening and thank you so much for joining us. Well, today Governor Tate Reeves signed the new In God We Trust flag into state law. Now this after both the state legislature approved the bill. Mississippi voters approved the new flag back in November. Reeves called it a historic day and hopes the new flag will bring unity.
So today, we turn the page. We commit our former flag to history, and we commit ourselves to the business of the future. It is one small effort to unify, but it is done in good faith. It is done with the hope that we can work together.
The new state flag was raised above the Capitol building today just after 3, and you can watch the historic moment on our website. Also today, U.S. Senator Cindy Hyde-Smith spoke about her experience during the Capitol breach last week. She said she was at her desk when the riots took place and could hear the crowd growing louder.
Yeah, it was a tough day Wednesday for our country. It was a sad day Wednesday for our country. But being in the position on the subcommittee appropriations with the Capitol Police, we are ready to prosecute those that came in.
Now, also, Senator Roger Wicker issued a statement today about the call to remove President Trump from office. And Senator Wicker says that he is not in favor of removing the president before the end of his term, but says orderly transfer of power will occur at noon on January 20th. Now to the latest in coronavirus, and let's start with those numbers for you. Today, the State Department of Health reports 1,227 new cases and 19 new COVID-related deaths, 2 from the Pine Belt and Forest and Jones counties. Now, to date, more than 240,000 Mississippians have tested positive for the virus, and 5,186 have died. Now, the 7-day average of new cases in our state is currently 2,376. And because those numbers continue to rise, the city of Bay Springs has extended its citywide mask mandate. The mayor and board of aldermen put the mandate into place in December, and it was set to expire in the new year, but they have decided to keep masks in place to protect their citizens.
Yeah, I would like for people to continue wearing the mask. I know it's sometimes you forget, but it's for your own safety, for your family's safety, neighbors and everybody else, that we wear these masks as long as we have to. And we got to do what we got to do to protect ourselves and our family.
And there is not a set expiration date for this mandate. The mayor and the board will continue to assess the mandate at each meeting. Now, 2 different vaccines are being distributed across the country and in Mississippi. Teachers are among those expecting to get their first dose soon. Now, superintendents in Petal and Forest County are currently working on plans to provide easy access to the vaccine for their teachers, but it is not going to be required.
We're excited to have the opportunity for our teachers to have access to the vaccine. I'm working right now behind the scenes in a way to bring access to the vaccine into our district, a way that can be very accessible to our staff.
Right now we're working on a plan to make sure it's accessible to all our employees. We actually already had conversations with Samurai to develop a plan to try to roll it out as soon as they have the vaccine available.
The Department of Health says the next phase of vaccinations include teachers. It's scheduled to take place at the end of January or in February. And this was the scene today at Mississippi State University. Snow covering the campus. Students out enjoying the cold temperatures we rarely see deep down south. And I'm a little bit jealous that we didn't get to have that today, just a little bit. Nick, what about you? I know sometimes it can be, some people say snow is infuriating. Some people say they love it. So.
You know, I'm always disappointed when I don't get to, see a little bit of snow in the air. I'm just as guilty as everybody else. So I do know there are a fair amount of you guys out there that are like, look, dude, I live in Mississippi for a reason, so I don't have to do all that stuff. I get that. I get both sides of the thing. Let's take a peek outside, though, and no snow out there for tonight for us. We didn't get much last night. We had a lot of rain-snow mixers. We had a lot of rain-sleet mixers. We had some sleet-snow mix, actually, across parts of Smith County and Simpson County. I'm still shuffling through all of the different reports, but for the most part, nothing stuck around. 39 degrees out there right now. Feels like 33 on the Alpha Insurance camera network, and no more precip. It's on its way out. Temperatures are on their way down. The computers say 29 for tonight. I say 33. I say 52 for tomorrow afternoon. I'm thinking a little closer to 49, though we'll talk about why coming up in just a couple minutes. Carrie?
All right, thank you, Nick. Well, today, January 11th, is National Human Trafficking Awareness Day. The Mississippi State Department of Health defines the crime as the act of recruiting, harboring, transporting, providing, or obtaining a person for labor services or commercial sex acts through force, fraud, or coercion. Now, the organization says human trafficking affects 12 to 27 million women, children, and men worldwide. And according to the Department of Homeland Security, you should not attempt to confront a suspected trafficker directly or alert a victim of any suspicions. Instead, you should contact law enforcement. Now, the Mississippi Department of Health and DHS and officials from the Domestic Abuse Family Shelter in Laurel say there are many signs to look out for to help identify victims of this crime.
You see somebody who can't do anything without an abuser or a trafficker right there. Even if you ask them a question or nice weather or whatever, and they turn around and look at somebody before they respond to you, that's a big sign.
The Domestic Abuse Family Shelter also helps victims of sex trafficking, and to get in contact with the shelter, you can call its 24-hour crisis line at 1-800-649-1092. Also, the Mississippi Bureau of Investigation and the Mississippi Highway Safety Patrol issued an endangered child alert for a young girl who's been missing since January 5th. The 13-year-old is from Brookhaven, Mississippi, out of Lincoln County. Anyone with information should contact the Brookhaven Police Department at the number on your screen. Jones College students will return to campus February 1st to help minimize the spread of the virus. Traditional classes are starting a little later than usual and will look a bit different for the semester. Students attending classes Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays will be divided into 3 groups, and those attending Tuesdays and Thursdays will be divided into 4 groups. Not changing this year, face masks and health checks for anyone who enters the campus. In Jones County, 2 people are unfortunately dead after an overnight house fire. It happened on Smith Drive in the Curry community, and according to the Jones County Fire Council, deputies were first on the scene and attempted to rescue one of the victims. They were unable to continue because of the blaze. Lake Volunteer Fire Department Chief Dan McKenna says the flames were shooting 50 feet in the air, and volunteer fire departments didn't leave the scene until 5:30 this morning. One deputy was treated for his injuries, and the fire is currently under investigation by the Jones County Sheriff's Department and the State Fire Marshal's Office. The Laurel Police Department has received 2 grants helping to crack down on drunk driving and enforce seatbelt safety laws, totaling more than $120,000. The money will be used to purchase equipment and pay overtime for police officers.
It does several things. It allows the officers to make extra money in coming in and filling a purpose. And they do, as you see by the numbers. They've been out here working, writing these tickets and stopping these cars and hoping that gets in everybody's mind, hey, they're out here doing this, slow down, don't drink and drive, let's put our seatbelt on. And hopefully this will cut down on our traffic accidents, traffic fatalities, and things such as that.
According to the Mississippi Department of Transportation, statewide, 1 out of 2 people killed in vehicle crashes were not buckled up. Today, small businesses can start applying for new Paycheck Protection Program loans. The latest COVID relief package includes $284 billion for additional lending to eligible businesses. This round of lending is different in a number of ways. Businesses can now get a second PPP loan. Targeted funds are available for the most vulnerable businesses, and restaurants can get bigger loans, and there's greater flexibility in how the loan may be used and still be fully forgiven. Hattiesburg City officials released the 2021 paving list for winter and spring as a part of the city's paving project that's been in the works for 3.5 years. Each ward in the city has several streets that will be getting new pavement.
Infrastructure has been a top priority during our administration, and once we finish this paving list, we will have hit 75 miles paved in the last 3.5 years. We've also committed ourselves to equity, so at least $1.5 million will have been spent in each ward by the time this list is completed.
You can go over to our website, WDAM.com. Colder temperatures mean deer are on the move, and you may see a few on the side of the road. But do you know what to do if you spot one while driving? Our Brandon Walker speaks with the Mississippi Department of Transportation for some tips.
Right now we are in the breeding season, or like a lot of hunters know it as rut.
In South Mississippi, deer begin breeding around the beginning of January, and this can last until February. District Engineer Kelly Castleberry with the Mississippi Department of Transportation gives the time frame of when you are most likely to see them.
During the early morning hours and the evening hours, right as the sun's coming up or the sun's going down. That's predominantly when they're on the side of the road.
MDOT's rule of thumb is if you see a deer, don't veer. Here's how you can stay safe if one runs out in front of you.
Do a hard brake, staying in line with the lane that you're in. Try not to swerve and miss that deer.
Here's something else to keep in mind.
If you're out in kind of our rural area and it's just you on the roadway at night, use your high beams. As long as you're not bright than somebody else, you can see the eyes pretty far away, and then you'll know that deer are present.
MDOT says the best thing to do if you hit a deer is to stay calm, call your car insurance company, and let them help you. Brendan Walker reporting, WDAM, on your side.
Now, MDOT says they are unaware if deer whistles work, but to be aware that deer are out there and safety is first priority. Now let's check back in with Nick for your forecast.
Yeah, things looking pretty good as we head through the next few days, albeit pretty chilly, Carrie. About as cold outside as it is here in the studio. We do warm things up eventually. We'll take a whole look at the forecast that's coming up after the break. Stick around.
Don't miss Jeopardy! Weekdays at 4:30.
This is one of the most dangerous jobs in the world, and there's no margin for error. But we push through to get the job done. When we get called out, we go. No matter the day, no matter the time. We do it because we have a special dedication to the job and our members. At Southern Pine Electric, we've always set out to provide reliable service to our community and for our members. But the ultimate goal is always the same, and that's to bring the power.
So what's happening in Midtown Hattiesburg is powerful. It's being revitalized and brought back. It's probably the strongest part of this town. The Midtowner is our 6th restaurant, and the thing that makes Hattiesburg the place for me is the people. That's the kind of thing I'm talking about with Mississippi Power. They really feel like a partner in my business along the way. Mississippi Power brings keeping the lights on to a whole new level.
Josselette Ford in Gulfport would like to thank you for making us the #1 Ford dealer in South Mississippi for 37 years. It's 2021, and we're giving our customers great deals on new Ford vehicles throughout January. Right now, get a new Expedition with a savings up to $12,800 off, or a new F-150 with a savings up to $12,900 off. Visit us today on Highway 49 in Gulfport, and don't forget,
we'll beat your best deal regardless.
Congratulations, Melinda Rogers. I just typed that in there, nothing but 15, 20 minutes ago. Melinda Rogers. I know Melinda Roberts out there is like, I won! Oh, dang it. Not that Melinda. The other Melinda. You took this great picture. All right. Wonderful shot of some of the trees that have lost all their leaves because it's so cold. If they haven't already, they're going to over the next few days. And then a beautiful sunset, sunrise, just beautiful coloring there on the clouds. And truly, this was taken vertically with a cell phone, so the colors continue even above the screen where you guys can see. I just can't, fit it all in on the screen for you guys, but trust me, they're there. It's a great picture. You got a good picture, send it on over. Nick knows at WDAM.com. You get an oil change and the umbrella. Everybody's all about the umbrella. I'm all about the oil change from D&D Tire. If you got a cool picture, send it on over with your name and some contact information. So just in case your dummy weather guy gets on the air and says the wrong name, you still know that you won. 39 in Hattiesburg, 37 in Columbia. Same goes in Collins, Laurel, and Waynesboro as you cruise across 84. So kind of a cold night out there. Make sure you bundle up. But all the precip is leaving. Southern Pine Electric Radar gets kind of a break for a little bit. Not as long as I think a lot of us would prefer, but 24 hours. First one leaves. Modeling says we clear out tomorrow. I don't know that we're going to be so lucky as to get a fully sunny day for the whole day. I think at least through noon the clouds will be with us and perhaps even into the afternoon. And then we get kind of sideswiped by this little guy sneaking through, playing catch up to the first system. This may offer a little bit of drizzle as we head through the early morning hours and probably through your morning commute for some folks on Wednesday. And the extra cloud cover that it's going to bring with it should also help to keep temperatures down a little bit. Some of our high-res guidance, and I haven't jumped on board with this yet, but some of the high-res guidance is showing 30s for highs the next 2 days. I'm not ready again to get on board with that, but nevertheless, it should be kind of chilly before out ahead of the next cold front. Yeah, there's another one out here. More cold air, right? 58 on Thursday. Here comes some cooler air. All right, so it's not crazy cold. 54 back in behind that as we close out the week and head toward the weekend with about a 20% chance that you catch a shower on Friday. Temperatures tomorrow morning hanging out, I think, in the low 30s because we're going to have enough cloud cover out there to keep us just a touch warmer overnight, though, you know, the difference between 29 and 32 or 33 when you walk out in shorts and a t-shirt, kids, probably not great. 40s and 50s as we head into the afternoon, given the anticipated cloud cover holding on through about the lunch hour. Now, if you get sunny at your house, and there are going to be places that probably clear out sooner than others, you can probably add a degree or two onto this. And then as we head through Wednesday, you can see this little system doesn't look quite as robust on, you know, our featurecast here from the RPM, but it should hold the temperatures down a little bit as we top things out in the upper 40s to right around 50 degrees. And then as we head through Thursday, we warm things up. Next cold front shows up Friday with about a 20% chance you catch a little bit of light rain and drizzle again. A dry weekend, albeit a little chilly with highs in the 50s before we head into next week. And that's when the next chance for maybe more robust rain shows up, though we'll talk about that in a couple of minutes.
All right, thank you so much, Nick. Now let's check in with Lexi for more in sports.
Hey there, Carrie. Well, the Saints are moving on after taking down the Bears on Sunday. We'll catch up with the team coming up after the break.
No matter what your mornings look like, thanks for starting your day with us. WDAM 7 Sunrise. Good morning, Pine Belt. The Pine Belt family just got bigger.
There's more winning at The View.
Thursday and Friday, you'll have a grand old time. Dozens of winners will get $1,000.
Saturday, it's our Chevrolet Tahoe giveaway. Win a Chevy Tahoe and $3,000 cash. Earn up to 50 times entries starting on Thursday.
And on Monday, the 18th, get 12 times points all day.
Island View and Beach View, Gulfport's two great casinos.
I'm in the mood for some fresh cooked Oriental food. I'm in the mood for Hibachi Express.
Need your favorite Japanese cuisine on the go? Well, Hibachi Express in Hattiesburg is the place for you. Pull through our convenient drive-thru and order a tasty poke bowl or sushi burrito with fresh and endless options. Or try one of our traditional Japanese dishes. It's quick and easy.
Fresh Japanese food fast at Hibachi Express.
Who
will sell you a brand new Ram truck for less. Woolwine will, who will get you financed with 0% APR for 84 months. Woolwine will, who will benefit? You will. Come to the Start Something New sales event at Woolwine, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Collins.
You deserve to have a strong voice in Washington.
So WDAM 7 is on your side with feet on the ground every day in the Capitol.
Ready to go whenever you need us.
Since the decisions made here affect the Pine Belt.
Pine Belt, we are your Washington News Bureau.
Get ready, Pine Belt. It's time for WDAM 7 Sports.
It had been a while since the Saints had all hands on deck, especially on the offensive side of the ball. But on Sunday, Drew Brees had plenty of weapons at his disposal, including his favorite target, Michael Thomas. He was back after being on injured reserve the last 3 weeks. Thomas wasn't spectacular in his return, just 5 catches for 73 yards and the game's first touchdown, but his mere presence is always welcome, and Brees is hoping his return to form is followed by others.
It was great. It was great to get him in the end zone, too. Hopefully we broke the seal, and there's a lot more that came from. But, listen, we got some work to do, I think still just kind of first time, really that we're getting everybody together again. Hopefully we get Traquan Smith back this week as well. And, there's just so much timing and rhythm that goes into the passing game, and so many little nuances and things that, when you're playing a lot, it becomes automatic. And that's when, you're really playing at the level that, man, we've been at, in many cases around here. But listen, this is playoff football. Each game becomes obviously more meaningful, and you've got to continue to fine tune and find ways to play your absolute best football. And listen, we need to improve. We still need to improve. There's still room for that. And so that's what this week's going to be focused on is continuing to find those extra little percentage points.
And here's a look at the divisional round Saturday's lineup. The Rams will visit the Packers, kickoff set for 3:35, followed up with the Ravens at the Bills, kickoff set for 7:15. Then on Sunday, Browns taking on the Chiefs at 2:05, followed up with Bucks at Saints, Brady versus Breeze, round 3 set for 5:40. The Pelicans will not be in action tonight. The team was supposed to begin a 7-game road trip tonight in Dallas. Well, that game has been called off because of COVID-19 and contact tracing issues. According to a report, the Mavericks did not have the league minimum of 8 players available for tonight's game. And tonight's the night a college football champion will be crowned this evening in Miami. The undefeated and #1 ranked Alabama taking on Big Ten champion Ohio State. This is Alabama's 5th title game in 7 seasons. A win for the Tide would give Nick Saban his 7th national championship, which would move him ahead of Bear Bryant as Alabama's most winningest coach. Coach Saban hasn't raised a national trophy since 2017, which makes it the longest drought of his career while at Bama. That's all for sports. We're back after this.
I want my patients to be happy. I want them to have great results. Whenever I can see that in their post-op visits by seeing what their vision is, but subjectively by what they're telling me they're now able to do, it's just a really great feeling. Miss Buckley came to me initially because she just wasn't seeing well out of her glasses. She had tried contact lenses in the past, but she just never could achieve really good vision with those, and she was constantly having to get new prescriptions and adjust the prescription. When I did a complete eye exam on her, I noticed that she did have significant cataracts. Of course, we discussed all of her options. One of those would be changing her glasses prescription, even though her vision wasn't going to significantly improve. And then the other option was cataract surgery. And I thought that that really was the best option to maximize her vision. With cataract surgery, the exciting thing is that the technology is always changing. It seems like every few months there's new advances in not only the equipment, but the lens implants. And so in Laurel at our surgery center, we are up to date with all of the technology. We are doing the latest implants, the latest cataract techniques. With Miss Buckley, doing the cataract surgery and removing her cloudy lens and replacing it with a clear lens that allowed her crystal clear vision, it really not only enhanced her life with her hobbies, but also at work. If anyone is having any types of blurry vision, problems driving at night, problems with contrast sensitivity, or colors don't seem as bright anymore, trouble with seeing in low light settings, all those could be signs of cataracts. You know, the most common type of cataracts is due to aging. So anyone in their 50s to 60s, it's a good idea if you haven't had an eye exam just to get a basic eye exam and get your cataracts checked.
For an appointment with Dr. Queck, call South Central Eye and Laser Center at 601-426-9454. For Health Break, I'm Catherine Farah. Health Break is a weekly community health program sponsored by South Central Regional Medical Center in Laurel.
Full disclosure, I'm going to try and get through this 14-day forecast without sneezing, but you know, you get that feeling in your nose, and sometimes, so just bear with me. 48 for tomorrow, 49 on Wednesday. The clouds will be kind of here and there. I think we break out of clouds through the day tomorrow. We get them back in Wednesday, and then we clear out of those too. Thursday and Friday, then we build in more clouds again for the next system. Only a 10% shot that you pick up a little bit of drizzle Wednesday, a 20% shot for some light rain on Friday. The weather this week is going to be gray, but reasonably benign, and I'd rather have cold and benign than warm and tornadoes. That's just me. As we head through next week, though, another system rolls in, and this one, I mentioned this at 5, kind of looks, this next one, next week, kind of looks like the one that actually just went through here, a little warmer. That's why temperatures you see there in the 50s and even pushing 60. But it's going to be kind of cruising by to the south. It's going to be regular cold rain, no threat for severe weather, which is some good news, and we'll have to keep tabs on number one, just how cold the air is that settles across the area this weekend, and how far south this one tracks as we head through next week, as we could be right back in the same boat we were just in. Behind that, we actually get a decent shot of some cooler air, but that doesn't last very long at all. And I think as we get toward the end of January, we start to get a fair bit warmer. Carrie?
All right, thank you so much in sports, and thank you in weather, and thank you so much for joining us. We do appreciate you. Be well and stay safe.
Enjoy a savory sausage biscuit, sausage McMuffin, or sausage McGriddles for just $1 each.